Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Look, if you've ever felt completely, totally lost trying to make sense of the digital finance world, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're decoding cryptocurrency and building your fluency right from the ground up. So, I gotta ask, do you speak crypto? Let's just address the elephant in the room right off the bat. The jargon surrounding cryptocurrency can feel incredibly overwhelming. It's literally like dropping into a brand new country where you don't speak a word of the language. You might see all these opportunities flying around, but without the right vocabulary, you can't even ask for directions, let alone actually jump in and participate. To help us translate all of this, we're relying on a truly fantastic source for today's explainer. It's called The Language of Crypto, and it's basically going to be our trusty translation guide. It's specifically designed to take these really complex, highly technical concepts and break them down into plain, totally accessible language. Okay, here's our game plan for today. Number 1, the foundation of digital money. Number 2, how blockchain actually works. 3, wallets and crypto security. 4, trading and decentralized finance. And finally, number 5, NFTs in the Web3 future. Let's get right into it. Part 1. The foundation of digital money. The evolution of currency. To really understand why cryptocurrency was invented in the first place, we have to look at the massive headaches it was built to solve. Think about the old world of centralized banking. Traditional money is controlled by governments and banks. It's tied to strict operating hours. And if you've ever tried sending money internationally, you know it can be painfully slow and super expensive. But cryptocurrency? It's a completely new paradigm. It's digital money controlled by decentralized networks. It never sleeps, so it's available 24/7, and it is entirely borderless. No central authority, no middlemen, just peer-to-peer value moving across the globe. Now, check out this number, 21 million. It's kind of the magic number built into this whole ecosystem. That is the absolute maximum number of Bitcoins that will ever exist. Unlike traditional money, fiat currencies that governments can just print endlessly, Bitcoin has a hard, mathematically limited supply. That absolute scarcity is exactly why so many investors view it as a serious store of value. It's literally the reason it earned the nickname digital gold. Moving on to part 2, how blockchain actually works. The giant digital notebook. So if Bitcoin is the car, you can think of the blockchain as the engine under the hood. But how does it actually run without sounding like complete technical gibberish? Let's walk through it with a super simple 6-step process. Just imagine a giant indestructible digital notebook that's shared across thousands of computers at the same time. Step 1, Amina decides to send some Bitcoin to David. Step 2, the entire network receives her request. Step 3, all the participants in the network, they're called nodes, they double-check the math to verify Amina actually has the funds. Step 4, once it's verified, that transaction gets packaged into a block of data. Think of that block as a freshly filled page in our notebook. Step 5, that block is attached to the previous chain of blocks. And finally, step 6, it becomes a permanent, totally unchangeable record. It's secure, it's transparent, and it happens without a single traditional bank involved. All right, part 3, wallets and crypto security protecting your assets. Now listen, this is arguably the absolutely most crucial part of this entire explainer. Because in the crypto world, there is no 1-800 customer support number to call if you forget your password. You are your own bank, which means taking personal responsibility. To do that, you've got to understand the vital difference between a public key and a private key. Your public key, that's just like your standard bank account number. You can hand it out freely to anyone so they can send you funds. But your private key, that is your master secret PIN. It is the ultimate proof of ownership. If someone gets their hands on your private key, they get your money, period. So never, ever share it. So naturally, the big question is, how do you back up that private key? Enter the seed phrase. This is your ultimate safety net. It's a recovery phrase, usually a random string of 12 to 24 words. If your phone falls in a lake or your laptop gets stolen, your crypto isn't actually gone. You just punch those exact words into a new device and boom, your digital vault is completely restored. But because it is literally the master key to your entire vault, you absolutely have to write it down on physical paper and store it completely offline. Let's really lock this in with the golden rules of crypto security. Number 1, never share your seed phrase. Just don't do it. Number 2, always enable two-factor authentication. Number 3, verify those wallet addresses incredibly carefully before you hit send, because blockchain transfers are 100% irreversible. Number 4, be hyper-aware of fake customer support asking for your keys. And number 5, if a scheme promises you guaranteed profits, run the other way. Stick to these rules and you can confidently sidestep the vast majority of scams out there. Part 4, trading and decentralized finance, navigating the market. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk market fluency. If you're hanging around the crypto space, you're going to hear animal terms constantly. First up is the bull market. This is when prices are pumping and investor confidence is through the roof. A super easy way to make this stick in your brain, think of a bull attacking. It thrusts its horns upward, right? That upward motion perfectly symbolizes rising prices and heavy buying activity. And then, of course, you have the exact opposite, the bear market. This is when prices take a dive, usually driven by fear and really negative market sentiment. Why a bear? Well, a bear attacks by swiping its massive paws downward. It's just so important to remember that this wild volatility, these big upward thrusts and scary downward dips, they are completely, totally normal cycles within the crypto ecosystem. Which brings us to arguably the most famous inside joke in the space, HODL. Yeah, it literally started years ago as a frantic typo for the word hold in a panicked forum post. Today, it's a badge of honor. It stands for holding on to your assets for the long term, entirely ignoring short-term market panic or the fear of missing out, FOMO. Choosing to practice patience instead of making emotional, FOMO-driven trades is exactly what hodling is all about. So what about DeFi, decentralized finance? The whole shebang runs on something called a smart contract. Let's demystify this right now. Think of a smart contract exactly like a vending machine. You put your dollar in, you press B4 for a candy bar, and the machine automatically drops it. You don't need a guy standing inside the machine to hand it to you, right? A smart contract is just a digital vending machine built on the blockchain. It perfectly executes financial transactions, like lending or borrowing, completely automatically, just as long as the preset conditions are met. Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, NFTs and the Web3 future, the ownership economy. Let's look past just the money aspect and talk about the actual future of digital ownership. You've definitely seen the intimidating acronym NFT, non-fungible token. Let's break it down by looking at that word, fungibility. A fungible item is perfectly interchangeable. My $1 bill equals your $1 bill. One Bitcoin is exactly the same as another Bitcoin. But a non-fungible item, it's 100% unique. You can't just swap a plain white t-shirt for a game-worn autographed sports jersey, right? An NFT is simply a unique, one-of-a-kind digital asset where the blockchain uses math to absolutely guarantee that you are the true owner. To put this into perspective and understand why this is such a game changer, just think about how the internet has evolved. Web 1 was basically a digital library. It was the read-only internet. Then Web 2 gave us the interactive internet, social media, user content, but massive centralized companies owned all our data. Web 3 is the ownership internet. Through decentralized blockchains and digital assets, you actually own your digital identity, your content, and your property. That is exactly why Web3 is being celebrated as the ownership economy. All right, as we wrap up this explainer, I've got one last super important question for you. What does DYOR mean? Because it is, without a doubt, the most powerful and essential acronym in the entire crypto space. It means do your own research. And I really want to leave you with this empowering final thought directly from our source material today. Never invest simply because someone else tells you to. Learn first, research thoroughly, then make informed decisions. Look, the crypto space is bursting with incredible innovations, but it's also packed with risks. Your ability to do your own research and actually acquire knowledge is, for sure, the single most valuable asset you can ever own. In the ownership economy of Web3, ignorance is a massive liability. So what are you going to research first? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, Focus Learners. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.